Okay, so for the last part ng peripheral blood smear, let's proceed with WBC morphology naman. To start off with leukopoiesis. So here is a flowchart ng leukopoiesis. So as a general rule, okay, so for the size, so cells and nuclei from myeloblast onwards, as they mature, they become smaller. Yung cytoplasmic granules naman, azurophilic granules appear in promyelocyte, which progressively diminishes until metamyelocyte stage. And then the granules remain constant na from there on. Specific granules naman are observed from myelocyte onwards. For the mitosis only occur in blasts, promyelocyte, and myelocyte stage. So from metamyelocyte stage onwards, only maturation takes place. Nucleus naman, so chromatin progressively becomes coarser and deeply stained, and nucleus become segmented. So let's start off with myeloblast. So myeloblast, the earliest recognizable granulocyte precursor. Okay? So, yeah. So 14 to 20 micrometers in diameter, and C ratio is 7 to 1, 2, 4:1. So round oval nucleus with fine reddish purple staining, 2 to 5 nucleoli, and then no cytoplasmic granules. So only 1% of the nucleated cells in the bone marrow. So here is your myeloblast. Promyelocyte. Okay, so MC ratio niya 3:1. Mas lumiit na yung nucleus. Round oval nucleus with slightly coarsening chromatin. And then, cytoplasm has large, non-specific primary granules containing myeloperoxidase. Yeah. Yeah. So that is your promyelocyte. And then, myelocyte. This is the first stage where granulocyte types can be differentiated into eosinophils, basophils, and neutrophils. So, pag sinabi granulocyte, silang tatlo yun. Okay? So, yun. So, early myelocyte may have visible nucleoli, light blue to light pink cytoplasm. So, prominent Golgi apparatus. Cytoplasm has specific or secondary granules na siya that contain hydrolytic enzymes, including alkaline, phosphatase, and lysozymes. Okay, still present pa rin yung non-specific and primary granules and may still stain. And it is the last stage capable of mitosis. Yan. So, metamyelocyte. Okay, so, nucleus is indented in a kidney bean shape and has coarse clumped chromatin. Okay. So, cytoplasm is pink, filled with pale blue to pink specific secondary granules. And then, si primary granules na are still present but do not stain. Here, kidney bean shape. A band or stub cell. Okay? So, ang nucleus niya is C-shaped or S-shaped with coarse clumped chromatin lacking segmentation. So, nuclear indent is greater than half the width of the hypothetical round nucleus, and the non-specific or the primary granules are present but do not stain. So, this is your stand or band cell. Yung inyong dito, secondary granules are also present na siya. Present din. And then, okay. So, after the band cell, yun na yung last. So, mature WBC na siya. So, you have 3 neutrophil. First, neutrophil has nucleus has coarse clump chromatin with 3 to 5 lobes connected by thin filaments. So, cytoplasm is pink and filled with small, pale, blue to pink, specific secondary granules. Yung non-specific or primary granules are present but usually do not stain unless in response to infection or growth factor. So segmented neutrophil makes up to 12% of the nucleated cells in the bone marrow and 50 to 80% of peripheral white blood cells. So neutrophil yung pinaka maraming type of WBC natin seen in the periphery. Okay. So as you can see, yung kanyang granules is blue, meron ding pink. Okay, so neutral siya, wala siyang pinapanigang kulay. Di ba, dalawa ang stain natin. You have your methylene blue and eosine. Isa blue, isa orange or red. Okay. So, yung kulay ng kanyang granules is neutral. Kaya, mas umiibabaw or mas nangingibabaw tingnan yung nucleus niya. So, yan yung ating neutrophil. Next, you have your eosinophil. Eosinophil naman contains large, bright red-orange secondary granules that contains enzyme and proteins. Okay? Yeah. So, as you can see, ang tingkad, sobrang tingkad ng kanyang secondary granules. Okay? So, kaya siya eosinophil kasi pinapanigan niya yung kulay ng eosine, which is orange or red. Okay? Yeah. So, ang laki ng difference niya with our neutrophil. Di ba? Okay. Last is basophil. Basophil naman contains large purple-black secondary granules that contain heparin and histamine. Okay. So, granules may be numerous and obscure the nucleus or they may wash out in staining because the granules is water-soluble. So, it leave empty areas in the cytoplasm. Okay. So, ayan yung itsura ng ating basophil. So, as you can see, almost hindi na visible si nucleus mo. And also, hindi mo siya makakonfuse with your lymphocyte kasi kitang-kita mo yung granules. Okay? So, si lymphocyte kasi super dark in color din siya and then nabilog din. So, sometimes yung students nakakonfuse nila yung lymphocyte with basophil. Okay? So, tandaan niyo dapat visible yung granules. For example, ito, ayan, may patsi-patsi siya ng dark blue. Yun yung granules niya. Yun. Nawala kay lymphocyte. Okay. So, kaya siya basophil kasi pinapanigan naman niya yung basic color na si methylene blue. Okay? So, yun yung tandaan niyo. Okay. So, these are mast cell, example lang. They are basophil found in tissues. Pag si basophil pumunta ng tissues, wala na sa peripheral blood, ang tawag sa kanya is mast cell na. Okay? So, next we have monopoiesis. Okay. So, let's start off with monoblast. Monoblast is the earliest recognizable monocyte precursor. Okay? So, round, oval, eccentric nucleus with fine chromatin, 1 to 2 nucleoli, dark blue cytoplasm, may have gray tint, and no cytoplasmic granules. Yeah. That's your... Yeah. Promonocyte, irregularly shaped, indented nucleus with fine chromatin, blue to gray cytoplasm with have fine azurophilic granules. Okay? So, meron na siyang granules. Yan. Okay. So, you have your monocyte. Okay. So, monocyte are horseshoe or kidney bean-shaped nucleus, often with brain-like convolutions. Okay. So, it has fine lacy chromatin, blue to gray cytoplasm that may have pseudopods and vacuoles, and many fine azurophilic granules that give the appearance of ground glass. Okay? They are transitional cell because it migrates into the tissues and becomes a fixed or free macrophage. Okay. So, if nag-migrate na siya sa tissue, hindi na siya monocyte, macrophage na ang tawag sa kanya. Okay? Yeah. So, horse or kidney bean shaped ang kanyang nucleus. Okay? And then you have your pseudopods or vacuoles. Ito yan, yung mga butas-butas. Yan. And then, has fine azurophilic granules sa cytoplasm which gives the ground glass appearance. And notice nyo yung kanyang nucleus, hindi siya solid blue. Okay? Meron siyang parang patsi-patsi ng pagka-pink or orange. Okay, so yan, see? macrophage or tissue monocyte. So, ayun, once na pumunta na siya sa tissues, macrophage na ang kanyang pangalan. Okay. So, that's your macrophages. So, lymphopoiesis naman, or our lymphocytes. Okay. So, let's start off with lymphoblasts. This is the earliest recognizable lymphocyte precursor. Okay. So, has no cytoplasmic granules. Okay. Yan, si lymphoblast. Prolymphocyte. Okay. So, round or indented nucleus with coarsening chromatin still has no cytoplasmic granules. Okay. Yan. And then you have your lymphocyte. So, lymphocyte niya is 7 to 18 in micrometer in size and then has condensed chromatin, scant to moderate amount of blue cytoplasm with few azurophilic granules. Here is your lymphocyte. Okay? So, as you can see, yung kanyang cytoplasm almost kasame size lang siya ng nucleus. Okay? Yan. So, hindi mo siya makakonfuse with basophil kasi si basophil, again, meron siyang dark blue granules. Okay? Sometimes kasi ang color nito is super dark. Okay? Depende sa staining. Okay? Usually, mas darker siya than the photo presented. Okay? So, we have what we call reactive lymphocytes. So, reactive lymphocytes are lymphocytes that have become activated as part of the immune response. Okay. So, they can show the following characteristics. So, they are generally larger cell with increased amount of dark blue cytoplasm. It has fine chromatin pattern with nucleoli, irregular shape ang kanyang nucleus, and irregular shape ang kanyang cytoplasm. Okay? So, kita nyo may tugs, sharp ridges, or kaya indented by the red cells. Okay. So, this is your reactive lymphocyte. So, si reactive lymphocyte po is normal. Okay? So, hindi agad ibig sabihin may sakit si patient. Okay? So, normal lang po siya once na-activate yung ating lymphocyte. Okay? Usually, makikita nyo yan pa isa-isa, dalawa sa peripheral smear sa normal healthy individuals. Kapag naman medyo sinisipon-sipon, ganyan, dumadami sila. Okay? Yun. And then, ayan, almost kamukha na siya ni monocyte. Ngayon, paano mo siya i-differentiate? Okay, look at the cytoplasm. Wala siyang vacuoles, wala siyang pseudopods. And also, yung kanyang nucleus na shape. Okay? So, yung shape ng nucleus is irregular, though mas similar siya sa bilog. Okay? Parang bilog na na-stretch out lang. Unlike kay monocyte na horseshoe or kidney bean shape. So, may shape talaga siya. Okay? And also, yung kanyang cytoplasm sumusunod sa shape ng RBC. Diba? Yun. Okay? Next is plasma cells. So, plasma cells are the end stage of B lymphocyte. So, they are dominant in lymph nodes, not normally seen in circulation. Okay? So, it has abundant blue cytoplasm with prominent perinuclear Golgi zone, eccentric nucleus with a coarse clumped chromatin pattern, and makes up less than 4% of nucleated cells in the bone marrow. These are your plasma cells. So, we know yung normal WBCs na. Let's look at now the abnormal WBC abnormalities. First, we have toxic granulation. Okay. So, this happens when there is a presence of abnormally large, dark staining or dominant primary granules in neutrophils associated with bacterial infections. Okay? So, di ba, ang neutrophil natin, almost hindi natin makita or hindi natin ma-appreciate yung kanyang granules normally. Okay? So, toxic granulation happens kapag there are bacterial infections. Dolly bodies. Okay. So they are cytoplasmic inclusions consisting of remnants of ribosomal ribonucleic acid or RNA arranged in a parallel rows. So typically found in band and segmented neutrophils and often in cells containing toxic granulations. Okay, so ayun siya, yung buo-buo na dark na parang malaking granule. Yon. Yan. Ayan. Parang guhit na blue. Yun yung Dolly bodies. So hypersegmented neutrophils, neutrophils with 6 or more nuclear lobes or segments, often seen din sa infections. Makikita din natin, possibly sa infections. So, di ba, ang normal is 3 to 5 lobes lang. Okay? Pag 6 or more, hypersegmented na siya. Hyposegmented naman, o Pelger-Hewitt anomaly. Okay? So, decreased nuclear segmentation naman, bilobe or unilobe lang na neutrophil, and a characteristic coarse chromatin clumping pattern potentially affecting all leukocytes, although morphological changes are most obvious in mature neutrophils. Okay? So, ang other name din sa kanya is, or other term is Pince-Nez nucleus. Bar body. So, bar body appears as a small drumstick-like projection on one of the lobes of some neutrophils in females. Ayan. Our rods, they are abnormal needle-shaped of round pink to purple sa inclusion in the cytoplasm of myeloblasts and promyelocyte. They are composed of condensed primary granules. Smudge or basket cell, they are disintegrated lymphoid cells, fragmented and degenerated WBC with bare nucleus partially surrounded by a coarse network of splayed red-purple nucleoplasm. Downy cell or atypical lymphocyte. Okay. So they are enlarged dysmorphic lymphocytes characterized by an often irregular monocyte-like nucleus that may stretch the length of the cell with abundant agranular, pale cytoplasm that are frequently intended by surrounding the red blood cells producing the so-called ballerina skirt cell. Okay? So, si Downy cell and atypical lymphocyte and reactive lymphocyte, iisa lang po yan. Okay, pare-pares lang sila. Iba-iba lang term. Plasmacytoid lymphocyte, type of reactive lymphocyte that has some of the morphologic features of plasma cell. Rider cell, similar to normal lymphocytes except the nucleus is notched, lobulated, and cloverleaf-like. Shidyake-Higashi, giant lysosomal granules in granulocytes, monocytes, and lymphocytes. May-Heglin anomaly, kapag merong large dolly body-like inclusions sa neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, and monocytes, also characterized by a variable thrombocytopenia and giant platelets. Okay? So, ito yung dolly body, and this one is a giant platelet. Alder-Riley anomaly. Okay? So, can seen granulocytes containing large, darkly staining metachromatic cytoplasmic granules composed primarily of partially digested mucopolysaccharides. So, the granules are referred to as either Alder-Riley bodies or Riley bodies. Ito, yan, yung nasa gilid, and this one. Okay. So, yun yung abnormal WBC. So, let's proceed with differential count. Okay. So, paano po ang procedure ng differential counting? So, we do this, magka-count tayo na 100 WBCs while differentiating them. Okay? Yeah. For example, this one. So, tara ka dito ng monocyte, eosinophil, neutrophil, 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 neutrophil. This one is basophil, basophil, ganon. Okay, and then, in total counts niya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, so, bibilangin natin siya while differentiating them hanggang maka 100 WBCs ka. Okay, so this provides relative proportion or percentages ng WBCs. Okay, so since 100 yung kinount mo, for example, 70 yung nakount mong WBC, so 70% na, 70% yung nakount mong neutrophil, so 70% yung si neutrophil. Yeah, na. Okay, so ganun lang po siya. Yan. So, what are the different methods na nabanggit ko na rin kanina? Okay. So, you have battlement method. Okay. So, yung ganyang shape. Battlement ang tawag natin dyan. We can also do longitudinal strip method or kaya the step technique. Okay. Pero, most common is the battlement method. Mas madali kasi siya. Okay. And a photo for reference, ito yung ginagamit natin for differential counting. Okay. So, ayan. Habang dinidifferentiate mo siya, kunyari nakakita kay eosinophil, so tarak mo dito, nagka-count din siya sa total counts. Tapos tumutunog siya kapag maka 100 ka na. Okay. And here. Ayan. This is, sorry. Okay. So, this is for reference. Okay. So, polymorphs or neutrophil, ang tinutukoy dito, is around 40 to 75%. Lymphocyte is 20 to 50. Monocyte is 2 to 10. Eosinophil is 1 to 6. Basophil is less than 1%. Okay? So, different references or sources, iba-iba din yung normal values ng inyong WBCs. Pero, consistently, pinakamarami po talaga si neutrophil, next si lymphocyte, next si monocyte, pinaka bihira si basophil. Okay. So, this can also give you a clue kung paano po kayo magka-count ng WBC differential. Okay. So, kung nako-confuse kayo. Okay. So, pag nakakita kayo ng segmented cell, di ba, ang segmented cell natin is the neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. Look at the difference. Yung isa 40 to 75%, yung iba 1% or less than 1% lang. Okay, pag nakakita kayo ng segmented cell, almost all the time that is neutrophil. Okay? Yun. Kasi bihira lang itong dalawang to. Okay? And then, lymphocyte and monocyte. So, if you know the normal values ng mga WBCs, makakorek nyo agad yung sarili niyo. Or mag-think twice agad kayo, teka, basophil ba talaga to? Bakit parang 3 na yung basophil na nakakount ko? Ganun. Bihira lang naman siya. Okay? Parang pang-checking nyo din sa sarili niyo. Okay? Kapag nakakount ninyo is mas marami yung WBC, ganyan, mas marami yung neutrophil, so parang nasa correct track pa kayo. Ganyan. Okay? So, yan. Pero not all the time naman applicable yon. For example lang, ngayon na nagsa-start kayo, activities natin, ganyan, tapos alam nyo naman na normal yung classmate ninyo or kung kanino man nanggaling yung blood, yan. So, pwede nyo pang check sa sarili ninyo. Okay? Hanggang sa masanay at masanay na tayo. Okay? So, that's it for our lesson regarding peripheral blood smear. So, thank you po.